The ACLU tried to defeat this measure at the polls, and the people of Arkansas disagreed with them. And so then they turned around and took this to the courts and asked the court to overrule the will of the people. And 7 justices on the Arkansas Supreme Court have now overruled the wishes of the people of Arkansas as they express their view in a fair election. And that's a slap in the face to every person in Arkansas who votes. Now, some of you may say, where do we go from here? Well, first of all, the Arkansas Supreme Court is the highest court in Arkansas. So there really is nowhere else to go legally in Arkansas with this case. Some people have said, well, might there be an opportunity to go into federal court and take this into federal court? We're talking with our lawyers about that, but their general consensus is probably not. There's probably not enough grounds to take this to federal court. And so what's left really is to look at maybe look at a couple of things. One would be to bring this back not as an initiated act, but as a state constitutional amendment that would actually be written into the Arkansas Constitution. That would give it a higher level of standing, as far as the courts are concerned. So a constitutional amendment is a possibility. And then, of course, the other possibility is to work with the Arkansas legislature to try to get them to step up and pass some legislation that will protect the welfare of children.
You talk about the will of the voters versus this court decision.
Correct.
But you can't just legislate anything you want. I mean, isn't that why we have courts, to determine if things are constitutional or not?
Yes, that is correct. And but here's the fine line that every court has to walk. Are they the interpreters of the law, or are they the creators of policy? And see, I would argue that the people have a right to make just laws, and to say that children in foster and adoptive care shouldn't be placed in certain homes, that doesn't rise to the level of passing a law saying that you can't have free speech or you can't have freedom of religion, because states always regulate adoption and foster care. And so the court, in my opinion, stepped way over the line and became a policy-making body rather than a judicial body in this particular ruling. Okay, any other comments?
Well, the other
yes,
thing they also addressed is they accused this of actually being an attack on homosexuals.
Right.
In Arkansas.
Right.
Is that right? Is that why y'all did this?
No. We said from the very beginning that this was primarily about child welfare. And I think if you go back and you look at everything we've said about this issue, it was about what's best for children. And quite frankly, what we discovered is that the most dangerous place for children is actually in heterosexual cohabiting homes. That's the most dangerous place because of live-in boyfriends, usually, preying on a woman's children. And so you start with that being the most dangerous, and then you kind of work your way down. But everybody knows that it's been proven with every study ever done that the gold standard really is a married home with a stable mom and dad. That's been true for 5,000 years of human history, and there are probably thousands of studies out there that would back that up, that having a stable mom and dad and having a kid raised by them is the gold standard. And that's what this act pointed toward. It turned our state in that direction rather than in some other direction that's going to lead us out here into a place where children are not going to be cared for maybe as well as they could be.
Isn't part of Family Counsel's opposition that your belief that a child cannot be placed in a homosexual couple's home and not have what you would call a good outcome?
Well, some people would say that, but if you read what Act 1 said, it did not prevent a single homosexual individual from serving as a foster parent or adopting. And so as long as that individual is not cohabiting with a sexual partner, then it's wide open for them to go ahead, those individuals to go ahead. Any single person, gay or straight, could adopt a child or be a foster parent under Act 1. We wrote it that way primarily because we wanted to be genuine in our statement when we say this is about child welfare. And so if it's really about child welfare, then we needed to focus on the places where kids were most vulnerable. And it was in those cohabiting homes, gay or straight. And that's how we crafted it.